lockdown of 2020 that domestic violence has increased over 8%. And for students who are stuck at home, some of those consequences were devastating. Dr. L.R.Daniel, she's been a teacher for over 30 years, and she is joining us this morning to tell us about the impact of domestic violence. She's seen it in the classroom. She's written a book about it. But before we talk about your book, Dr. Daniel, thank you for joining us on Sonoran Living. Tell us what you learned when you and other teachers headed back to the classroom this year.
Thank you for inviting me, Terry. I discovered that teachers across the nation were hearing shocking stories about their students' lockdown experiences. In addition to economic hardship, they experienced situations that made them sick, both physically and emotionally sick, due to verbal abuse and the stress of toxic relationships.
It's all just added stress to that. And as we talk to our friends and our neighbors and our coworkers, you have observed some warning signs that this may be causing other issues. What are some of those warning signs that you've observed, and what should we be looking for if we know someone who is in a terrible situation?
First, it's important to understand that how you're being treated in your closest relationships can make you emotionally and physically ill. You need to first recognize if you're dealing with someone who is toxic, and that can be difficult. The research on toxic relationship identifies traits. So here are 3 signs to look for. First, the toxic person is manipulative. They bend the truth, they lie, they exaggerate irrelevant details. Second, a toxic person likes to play the victim. They won't take accountabilities for their emotions, their actions, and they project those feelings onto others. And third, the toxic person is inconsistent. They are consistently inconsistent. Their actions and their words do not match.
And of course, with the additional situation that we've all found ourselves in that exacerbated the problem with toxic people, what are some of the tools that you have found in your practice as a teacher that you've shared and others have shared with you that work?
Yes, you can't change the person. Right. You may not be able to change your circumstances, but you can control your attitude. And one of the most effective tools is your attitude. So focus on what you can control, especially if leaving is not an option. You can redirect the attention onto yourself. And for students, that may look like keeping a clean room, completing your classwork. For parents, it might look like focusing on goals like saving a certain amount of money or increasing physical activity.
Okay. Those are all really, really helpful tools. And I know this has been a journey for you as well as for other teachers. Why did you decide to take all of this information and reach out and write this book to help students and parents?
Yes, I saw firsthand. So it seemed like many victims just did not know what to do. They had no idea on how to change their situation. So I wrote the book, Trash Can: Stop Being a Receptacle for Toxic People's Waste, to help navigate, to guide individuals to solutions, to navigate their problems so that they can improve their life, even when leaving is not an option.
Well, and don't you find that when you're also in that situation, you're just so down and dark and deep, it's hard to really look for the light and some sort of guidance. So this is a great way to share your experiences with everybody else. And we appreciate you. Dr. L.R.Daniel's joining us this morning. If you want to get a copy of the book, Trash Can: Stop Being a Receptacle for Toxic People's Waste, you can order it right now on the website, trashcanbook.com.